stills, Nikon 135. These are portrait lenses, and in video games, 20 to 40 degrees approximately. You shoot with that focal length, and you get your camera underneath the eye line, and you impart power. So I don't want to trash on anybody, but look what happens when you get it wrong. This is a wide-angle lens. This is Halo, great game, but when they shot this guy doesn't actually look that tough. He looks sort of a bit weak, and it's because it's a wide-angle lens. At least it's under the eye line. That's cool. Wide-angle lens above or similar to the eye line, he doesn't actually come across as a powerful guy to me. Snake, like, cool dude, but he looks like the guy beat up in high school. Like, it's not really coming across as a powerful figure here, and it's just because they didn't know cameras. FIFA, they got the eye line right. I know the guy that works on the cameras in this, and he's a legendary camera guy. But what happened is the producers got on and said, "Oh, we got depth of field, great, turn it up." These guys look like munchkins. They're not heroes. So keep those guys out of there. They don't know what they're doing. So that might be a great shot, but the depth of field just killed it. So we got a long way to go, and we've got so much more power now. We need to raise cameras, and this is somewhere that needs a lot of improvement. So here's 50 Cent, and it looks pretty badass, right? Here's the video game 50 Cent. Doesn't really read, is super tough. Here's our friend Darth. Forgive me, Darth. And it's just one thing. It's cameras, and that's what I think's held us back. You can make mediocre textures and mediocre lighting look a lot better if you just shoot it the right way. So here's a little thing. You guys, if you guys do next gen stuff, multiple render targets are pretty cool. They're really cool. I'm just humming this music for some reason on the side. RT. So it allows you to real-time compensate your final buffer. You can comp your lighting, you can comp organic stuff, and you can mix real-time and dynamic. Actually, I should say real-time and baked lights. There's some super ultra secret cool ways you can make your real-time shadows look as good as pre-rendered shadows. You're getting that beer, I might put that one out. You can layer dirt mines over repeated textures. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this. So there's a movie here. Here we go. So here's an image, final. Here's the baked lights. Here's your diffuse. Here's some organics. Boom. Because it's all real time, you can actually mix and match how those blend together. So that's a really very cool things. And I just want to go back to the tune on target because that's just so important. Don't tune your stuff. Get it in the ballpark in the 3D package, but tune it in the game. And if you're already halfway down the game, you don't have that. I'm sorry. I know it's really hard, but anything you start the next time, bug your engineers and say, we need a way to real time update this stuff because you just have to now.
So now I just want to summarize all this stuff. At the end of the day, what we want to do is deliver powerful experiences to our audience. So we've got all this technology, we've hopefully mastered the fundamentals, and still there's a lot of decisions along the way. And what's really important as you're making those decisions is to make sure that they're based on your game goals. It's a very complex puzzle out there now. It's even more complex with next gen. So every one of those pieces needs to fit to make a compelling image. So just to summarize, what we've talked about today, creating great visuals is not, just technology. It's not just fundamentals, and it's not just a great team. It's all those things working together as a whole, and that's what we're trying to do really hard at Pandemic. And I think all of you guys have an opportunity to go back to your teams and make that happen as well. Because the more great games that are out there is great for all of us. We love to be inspired and we love to be challenged by the things that we see out there. So hopefully some of the things that we've talked about today you guys can bring back to your teams and your lives. And again, at the end of the day, we want to ignite the imagination of our audiences. That's really what we're striving for, is to make great games that people love. And if we do all that, hopefully we can create some hits. See you.
Kia ora, thank Craig and Adam. Because there's a small break in between this session and the next session, we're going to take about 5-10 minutes to field some questions from the audience. Unfortunately, we probably can't have all of you ask questions, and I'll let Kirk and Adam choose. As a matter of housekeeping, the 2:10 session about mobile game development has been cancelled. And for the rest of the day, can you guys remember to either put your phones on silent, vibrate, or off in sessions, please? Out of respect for the speakers.
Anyone have any questions? Questions, honestly. There's one.
What stuff do you guys find inspiring in music at the moment?
Good question. It's a really good question.
Well, one game that I really am looking forward to see is Visual Planet. Just the materials are beautiful, and I love the audio and the way they're doing that.
I don't think we're stalling because there's so many, Gears of War did a lot of great things with materials and cameras, and Bioshock's got, so many great moments to it. We're just really obsessively, I think, picky about things, and I think that our medium, this is the next medium, it's like Hollywood in the 1930s, we're this golden era, and we don't see, you see these little glimmers of advancing the medium, but I think there's just so much more to come. It's just really hard, and you can't go to Amazon to get a book on how to make, how to innovate this new medium, because it's all we're all, pioneers on it ourselves, so. Yeah, I know.
Gears of War was outstanding. The videos for Call of Duty 4 look beautiful, so there's definitely some things out there that I think are pretty nice.
You've got any gyms teaching us about lighting, gyms teaching us about
Like lighting. Oh yeah, lighting's huge. I think there's a question I tipped about lighting tips and tricks and any lighting techniques. Was that it? Fundamentals for one. If I were had the time with our junior guys, I'd just give them all a chair and say light it 3 different ways, and let's look at tomorrow. You kind of need to know those fundamentals. And just color, a really good sense of color. Dynamic range, so often things are so flat, they're not pushing the highlights, not crushing the blacks, and it just looks flat. And just taking a scene and lighting it 3 or 4 different ways. And then watching movies, Kirk's goes through so many movies and we'll grab frame grabs and just go look at the way they did this shot and just deconstruct it. All the info's out there. We just need to obsessively watch movies and grab stuff. There's a lot to learn from Hollywood in terms of lighting, etc. They've been doing for so long.
And even games out there, a lot of times I'll go and I'll look at games that I think are really good, and I think, how can I make them better? So you can take a screenshot, bring them in Photoshop, and try some things. Play with the exposure, play with the color. You do a lot of stuff with images that you have and trying to see how you can improve them. And that process, you kind of go, okay, I see. If I added this color here, or I boosted the contrast, or brought some highlights into the shot. You can see in that process you start to learn how to make an image stronger.
You mentioned building a histogram. If you have a game title which, for one reason or another, really targets like a real washed out feel, would you do that within the engine, or would you approach it with that in mind when you're building the textures?
That's a good question. Is it always washed out?
Yeah, if that is your target, if you're looking for maybe a 70s feel or something like that, where it's really overexposed sort of feel, where it's just your white is super white and you just don't have a black.
Right. There's so many different levers now. Just get to that in a slightly long-winded way. But if you look at your picture on the screen, it's too hot or too dark. Is it your depth of luminance? Is it your texture? Is it your lighting? And now as we add these things, it's just this ocean of levers, and now lean against each other, so it's really hard. We really strongly believe in getting as close as you can through full histograms and lighting, and don't do your post effects until near the end. So on our last project, and I say this respectfully, we grabbed Kirk's hands and we pulled them off the post effects, because if you start doing it too soon, you start to rely on them, right? And then what you're making versus what you're seeing starts to drift, and you've got something, and then you post effect it to what you want, and then